Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today's video is going to be a declutter video. It's going to be a little bit different than my typical declutter videos. About once a year, I go through and declutter my entire collection and bring you along as I go drawer by drawer and get rid of products that are old and expired or things that I just don't use any longer. But I don't usually do that more than once or twice a year. But at the same time, I still declutter my collection regularly. So once in a while, I'll go through and do the same thing with all of my drawers, or a lot of times I'll just use products and decide that I no longer need them in my collection for whatever reason. And I usually update you in my everyday makeup drawer videos, but I decided to do those every other month rather than monthly. So I haven't gotten the chance to update you guys on products that I'm decluttering from my collection. So today I have 10 different products that I'm decluttering for different reasons. I hope you guys still enjoy this video, even though it's not my typical declutter format, but I have all different products to share with you. I didn't just want to do one category, and I wanted to share why I'm decluttering the products from my collection. So if you guys enjoy these videos, let me know, but let's jump into it and I'll chat about the products. Okay, let me start with two different face palettes. The first one is the Urban Decay Sin Afterglow palette. This one is a highlight and blush palette, and it comes with 6 different products inside. And I don't know, I'm just not really into this formula. I've really only swatched it or used it like once or twice, so I figure at this point it's pretty much brand new. I might as well pass it along to somebody else who can actually get use out of it and enjoy it instead of just keeping it in my collection, because honestly it will just get neglected. I haven't tried a lot of Urban Decay cheek products. Like, I haven't tried a lot of their blushes, their highlighters, their bronzers, so I don't know exactly how the formula is, but this palette in particular just seemed a little bit dry. The highlighters didn't look that great on my skin. The blushes went on fine, but they weren't anything super exciting, and I just wasn't really impressed by this palette as a whole. It didn't work well for me, and I just have other products in my collection that I'd rather reach for over this one. So like I said, I want somebody else to be able to enjoy it, so I am decluttering this palette. I'm also going to declutter the Pure Sculptor palette. This is a highlight contour palette that I got in a BoxyCharm, and when I opened it, I knew it was going to be too dark for me, so honestly, I probably should have just decluttered it on the spot, but I figured I could get use out of it as an eyeshadow palette instead of a contour palette. I have gotten some use out of it. I think the formula is really good. The metallic highlighters, or the shimmer highlighters, are so beautiful on the skin. They're soft and blendable and buttery, and the matte contour shades are really nice as well. If they had a lighter version of this palette, I would definitely grab it and use it as a contour palette, but I just don't get enough use out of it as an eyeshadow palette to keep it in my collection. I just want to be able to pass it along to somebody else who could enjoy it more than I do, but the quality's there. Like, it's a good palette. It's just not something that I reach for because it's not suitable for my skin tone. So I try to keep you guys updated when I change my mind about a product, and I did change my mind about this product. I used to really enjoy this, but I must have changed up my skincare routine since I originally tried this because it doesn't interact well with my skincare products. It is the BECCA Velvet Blurring Primer, and this is such an interesting primer. I wish it still worked for me. It's a very liquidy primer, so when you first apply it, it feels really runny, but as you press it into the skin, it turns into like this really pretty silky matte base. So your skin is instantly mattified and your foundation goes on top really beautifully. It kind of has the same texture as the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer once it dries. Anyways, I did really enjoy it, but now when I apply this product, it balls up on my skin, and I definitely think it's due to my skincare routine. So I'll do my skincare routine, I'll apply an SPF, and then when I apply this product on top, it balls up, it doesn't sink into the skin, it doesn't mattify. It's just a completely different product on top of my skincare routine, and I don't know exactly which product doesn't interact well with this primer. So I haven't been able to, figure it out. I have to declutter it because I haven't been able to get a lot of use out of it. And at this point, I mean, I have other primers in my collection that I use regularly. I'm assuming somebody else will be able to enjoy it more than I do. So I did love this at one time, but it just hasn't been working for me lately. So I will be decluttering the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. I have the shade Ivory. I actually had 2 shades of this, but I decluttered one of them when I did my foundation declutter not too long ago. And I really like this foundation. I think it's such a good product. It has the perfect coverage. It goes on really beautifully. It's more of like a velvety matte foundation, and it has, like I said, pretty good coverage. So I do enjoy it. It's one of my favorite drugstore formulas, but the color just does not match me. I wish they would expand the shade range. They did expand their Flawless Finish foundation a while ago, so I'm hoping they will eventually expand everything else because they have such a poor shade selection, and you know, if this shade doesn't match me, I'm sure the other shades in the collection don't match other people and they just need to do better. But this one is very pink toned and my skin has a yellow undertone. So when I apply this, you can see a very distinct difference between my face and my neck. And even if I blend it down onto my neck, it just looks off. Like it's not the same color as my skin tone, the same undertone, and I just can't get it to work for me as much as I want to. If they ever expand the shade range, I'll definitely try it out again. But for now, that one is just not for me. Okay, it's finally time to declutter the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. I actually kind of forgot about this product until they released their new full coverage concealer, which I love. That is my current favorite. It's such a good concealer. It's blendable, it's creamy, it looks so gorgeous on the skin, and it gives amazing coverage. And I wanted to like their original Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer because it goes on really beautifully and it blends out really beautifully, but it's more of a natural coverage concealer. And I like how it looks on the skin, but it creases on me like crazy. No matter what I do, this product creases. It just settles into fine lines. It looks really horrible after just like a few minutes, and it just doesn't work well for me. I know a lot of people do enjoy this, and if you are a fan of very hydrating, more natural looking concealers, I do think you would enjoy it. But for me personally, it doesn't work. It creases like crazy, and I don't know why I still have it in my collection. So I was just kind of going through my drawers and I realized that it's time to part with this. I just don't need it. I never reach for it. So I was talking about these TARTEIST lip paints in a recent video, and I just don't like the formula. I have this one in my collection and I have these two little mini sizes, and I keep trying them over and over because I want to like it. Like when I do this with a lot of products, but when I have high-end products in my collection that I spent my money on, I really try to make them work for me because they're expensive and you just don't want to get rid of them just because you tried them once and they don't work. You try to make them work. You use different combinations, different lip liners, but no matter what I do, I just don't like this formula. In general, I'm not the biggest fan of liquid lipsticks these days. They're just a little bit drying and uncomfortable, and they enhance like all of the lines on my lips, and I just don't love them. But this one in particular I find to be very drying. It's very thin, so it feels really lightweight on the skin, but at the same time it just feels like paint on the lips. Like it just sucks all of the moisture out of your lips, and it's so uncomfortable. So I do not like this product. I just have to part with it and decide that this is not the liquid lipstick for me, so it's time to declutter these. This is funny because I actually went to use this product today. I was looking for a good nude lip liner in my collection. I usually use the ColourPop pencil in BFF or BFF2, but I couldn't find either one of them, so I was going through my collection and I saw that I had the IT Cosmetics Your Lips But Better Waterproof Lip Liner Stain. I used to love these. I remember spending my money on these multiple times because I just thought it was like the best lip liner in the world. It's been a while since I've used it, so I wanted to try it out again because I remember that it was creamy, it locked my lip color in place, and I just really enjoyed them in general. This one is in the shade Buff Nude. This is totally expired because it's completely dried out. I haven't used it for such a long time. I didn't realize that it dried out. I totally would have like pulled it out of my collection sooner and used it up because it was an expensive lip liner, but I honestly just like the ColourPop lip liners so much that I've kind of decluttered the majority of lip liners from my collection. I don't even know if I have any other ones. I even tried to like cut off part of the liner to see if it was just like the open part that had expired, but the entire thing was like completely dried out. So unfortunately, it is time to declutter this one. Another product that actually expired is the MILANI Powder Blush in the shade Romantic Rose. I pulled this out of my collection because I was going to use it in a video, and then I went to use it and it was completely dried out. So I don't even think I had this for that long. I mean, I definitely have other blushes in my collection that are older than this one, but this one is completely dry. Like the texture is totally different from when I first got it. I love this blush so much. I just enjoy it. So I'm actually going to repurchase it once I do go to the drugstore or place an order online because I'm sad that it actually expired. But it just goes to show products do expire and you don't always realize until you go to use them. But if the texture changes or the color changes or the scent changes, it's time to toss it. So it is time for me to declutter this Physicians Formula product. It is their Refreshment Cucumber and Bamboo Eye Depuffer. And I don't want to say that this is a bad product because I think it's fine. I don't know that it makes like a noticeable difference. This is just one of those like extra steps that I don't take, so I don't use this product. And even though I enjoy how it feels on the skin because it feels really nice, it's just not something that I use. It was like sitting back on my vanity inside one of my like containers, and I just realized I never reached for it. So it is time to declutter it from my collection. It's a nice product, and if you use something like this regularly, you would enjoy how it feels on the skin, but I just don't reach for it. The last product that I'm decluttering is the Butter London Natural Charm eyeshadow palette. I don't even remember where I got this or how long I've had it in my collection. I think that it makes it through my eyeshadow palette declutters because I keep this mirror in my bathroom for when I'm doing my hair, because I always check the back of my hair to make sure that all of it's curled or that it looks fine if I put it up. And it must have been in there for a while because I don't remember talking about this in an eyeshadow palette declutter for a long time. I just realized I never use the shadows in here and I just don't reach for it. So it is time to declutter it from my collection. The shadows are pretty, but I just, like I said, I don't reach for it. I have other shadows that I like better than these. So there's nothing wrong with them. They work fine. I don't use it. So it is time to get rid of it. It's time to part with it. So those are all of the products that I'm decluttering from my collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's not my typical declutter style, but I will kind of do a mix of both throughout the year. So anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.